Good afternoon. I certainly would like to thank NAIFA and more specifically Mahesh and Dick Jacobs for making this possible. And I would like to thank... I don't
think the mic is working.
Okay.
I'm going to see if they can fix that.
Okay, okay. And you tell me when it's...
Okay.
How's this, okay?
That thing's turned on. There we go.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. How's that? Okay. You ever see the movie Groundhog?
Yeah.
That's what life is about. Just every day getting it just a little bit better. But anyway, I would like to thank all of you. If you do have a pen in either your right or your left hand, if you could write down the number 5,000. Remember Groundhog? Back again. If you could write down the number 2,000. Last year, 2,000 insurance and investment professionals used the 20 sales ideas that I'm about to give you this afternoon and the 5 prospecting approaches. And they wrote over $5 billion of annuity premium. In my opinion, because of these 20 sales ideas and 5 prospecting approaches, so many of you are going to be able to reach for that next level of success. Because of these 20 sales ideas and 5 prospecting approaches, prospecting will now be so much easier. It is my job, my mission, my responsibility during lunch and dinner today. No. During this short 50-minute presentation is to give you how many ideas? 20. And how many prospecting approaches? 5. And when are we going to begin? Now, right away, as soon as possible. Dick Jacobs, do you have that nice watch of yours? Yes, with the one with the minute hand. Okay, Rebecca, do you?
Oh yeah, Rebecca does.
Lynn, do you? What I would like you to, I would like you to do is I would like you to be Bonnie, my buddy. Where's Bonnie? Over there. You got that watch for me. I would like you to time me, and let's see if I can give you 20 different sales ideas in 20 minutes. Okay? Will you be my partner? Number 1. Care about the consumer more than yourself. Number 2, listen more than talk. Number 3, tell a story of diversification. Has a client ever told you that they had a $60,000 certificate of deposit maturing the following month? And when you heard that, did you ever go after all of it? And did you ever drive home with none of it? We must tell the story of diversification for 2 reasons, a selfish reason and an unselfish reason. The selfish reason is when we go after their all, are we lowering their anxiety level? Are we making it very, very easy for them to say yes? Or are we doing just the opposite? Are we raising their anxiety level? So the selfish reason that I would like you to tell a story of diversification is we must learn, master today, how to make it very, very easy for people to say yes to us. And one of the ways is lowering their anxiety level. However, there's a more important reason why I want you to tell the story of diversification. And that is because no one should put a great deal of their dollars into any one given product. When I was growing up in Atlantic City, my daddy used to say, Billy, never put all of your eggs in one. Oh, he told you too. I thought he stayed in Jersey. He came out here and told you. Once again, let's tell a story of diversification because it makes all of the sense in the world. Idea number 4, return to needs-based presenting. As I mentioned to this morning's audience, one of the most pleasant experiences I ever had is when I discovered that I needed to stop discussing the interest rate 16 times at the point of sale and instead return to needs-based presenting. Friends, have you ever discussed the price more than anything else? Have you ever mentioned the interest rate 16 times at the point of sale? What I'm asking you to do beginning today, I'm asking you to return to needs-based presenting and asking people what they want and helping them get what they want. Would you like your children to go to college? Would you like to protect the people that you love with life insurance? Would you like a check the first of every month for as long as you live?
Yes.
Would you like your mom to reduce the unnecessary taxes she's paying on her Social Security income? That's return to needs-based presenting, asking people what they want, more importantly, listening, and then giving them what they want. What's number 5? Believe in your product. The best homework assignment that I could give you today is to please, this afternoon, this evening, buy an annuity. I don't care if it's $55 a month or $550,000. Doesn't matter. What I care about more is that you have the product, you own the product. Quite frankly, you will gravitate to the product that you think really internally excites you more than anything else. Because then next week, when you're at the point of sale and you see a moment of indecision on the prospect's face. Sir, have you ever seen a face of indecision?
Yes.
Yeah, more than once, right? Well, the next time that you see that face of indecision, I want you to say, you know something, Frank? I'm also concerned about retirement. I also want tax control. I also want the option to get a check the first of every month for as long as I live. And the product that I'm discussing with you this evening, Mark, is where I have my money. Whenever you can use sincerity and passion in your voice, you will achieve that next level of success. But far more importantly, you will help more people accumulate more money for later by paying less income taxes. When, Adam? Now. Your responsibilities. And I probably mean this more than almost anything that I say here this afternoon. Every one of us, or almost every one of us in this room, certainly including the presenter, we owe it to our spouse to be the best that we can be. We owe it to our children to be the best that we can be. And a handful of us in this room owe it to our grandparents to our grandchildren to be the best that we can be. And when we pick up the phone as frequently as we should, we're being the best that we can be. When we do client appreciation events, you're being the best that you can be. When you are asked a question that you do not know the answer to, and you say, I don't know that answer, but I know someone who does, allow me to get that answer and I'll get back to you, we're being the best that we can be. When we tell a story diversification, once again, believe in your product. Number 7, anticipate the objection in advance. Shame on us if we're driving to an appointment and we're listening to sports radio or 50s and 60s or 70s music. What we have to do when we're driving to that appointment is we must anticipate the objection in advance. What do we say when they say they need the brochure? What do we say when they say, sounds great, let me think about it? Or is your annuity FDIC insured? Or I never tie my money up for longer than a year? What we must master is the proven best thing to say. Now, maybe I'm from California, so maybe you're not hearing it here. But how many times do you hear that they would like to see the brochure? Do you ever hear that objection? They would like the brochure? Not much? How many say yes? Raise your hand. Okay, so for that 43% of the audience, allow me to give you that objection. Adam doesn't need it, so I want you to close your ears, Adam. Mr. Jacobs, I'll pick on you again. And you got to be better than this morning. Mr. Jacobs, if you could say to me, hey, Bill, can you send me a brochure?
Hey, Bill, will you send me a brochure?
When you hear that the next time, I want you to think of NAIFA, and then what I would like you to say, I would like you to say the following words. Why? Because they work. One more time, Mr. J.
Why?
No. No. You got to ask me the question again.
Bill.
You're not part of this act. Okay.
Bill.
You're not getting up here. Oh, what's that?
Will you send me a brochure?
Mr. Jacobs, I am the brochure.
Ooh, I like that.
Thank you. See, you just thought I was a pretty face. There's depth here. Or what I would like you to say is I can appreciate that you would like a brochure. However, my insurance license allows me to represent 2,000 different insurance companies. And I know you don't want 2,000 brochures. You only want one. But I will only know which one to leave off with you after we have spent 15 minutes together. Friends, how in the world do you know which brochure to mail to them until after they have heard your presentation. Once again, what do you say when they say, can they send me a brochure? I am the brochure. Are there any other ideas? Thank you very, very much. Are there any others?
Those are my notes.
Mentors.
Yes.
Presidents of the United States have called them my cabinet. Fortune 500 companies refer to them as board of directors. Richard Harris in the movie Camelot referred to it as my round table. Who do your clients have at their round table that are willing and able and capable of helping them get financial and emotional independence, tax control, the compounding of interest 3 different ways? Because the next time you hear someone say that they're happy with their existing agent or they already have an advisor, point out to them the importance of you and, quite frankly, 2 or 3 other professionals being at their round table. 5 or 4 professionals who are willing to get together with the other professionals where your client is the sole topic. Your clients and prospects and former clients need mentors, and quite frankly, you do as well. And if I was looking at that description of NAIFA before everything began, aren't they an extra person at your round table with all of the things that they're doing for you and the community? Are there any other ideas? Hope so, because the meeting would be over. Acquire product knowledge. This is not a job that we have. This is a profession. Know your stuff. We all want our kids to go to college. Why? Because we all value a good education. We need to educate ourselves. This is not a job, as you're very much aware. It is a profession. Number 10. And Bonnie, am I doing okay with time? Okay, good. Number 10, ask for the order 100% of the time. Industry statistics say that we only ask for the order 50% of the time. What I would like you to do beginning today, assuming that the product that you're recommending is in the client's best interest, I want you to get in the habit of asking for the order 100% of the time. That becomes the easiest way for you to double your income. Far more importantly, the easiest way for you to help 100% more people. And for those of you that have a pen, please write down arguably the best close of all time. The most non-threatening way to ask for the order. Because once you ascertain that your product is in their best interest, I would like you to say the following words. Why? Because they work. And the words are, well, would you like to go ahead with it? Let me just say it again. Well, makes sense, doesn't it? Would you like to go ahead with it? If they say yes, you begin completing the application. If they say no, this is your part, Mr. Jacobs. What do you say? Why? Why don't you want to go ahead with it? Once again, our mission, our role is to get that real objection surfaced and then isolated and then addressed. Because why, Michael? A great closer is a great educator. Let me say it a different way. A great closer is someone who knows how to move that prospect toward a decision which is in the best interest of the prospect. Who in this room has been selling annuities for 5, 10, 15, 25 years? Sir, what was the largest case that you wrote 5, 10, 15 years ago? $100,000. That's absolutely terrific. And were you happy the day that you wrote that case? Tickled pink, right? Tickled pink. And just out of curiosity, you may have spent the commissions you earned on that case, huh? Quick as he could do it. Who was the winner? Not him. He was happy. But that client that said yes to him has seen that $100,000 grow to $200,000. And how much in income taxes have they paid on that $100,000 of tax-deferred growth? Zero, because of you, sir, and because of the annuity. So what a definition of a great closer is once again, someone who knows how to move that prospect toward a decision which is in the best interest of the prospect. Number 11, use proven approaches. There are fabulous books, booklets, services that this association provides that will enable you to have proven and use proven approaches. This morning we showed a very special Social Security questionnaire that, for example, in 3 minutes gets us to identify whether we can reduce or eliminate the taxes they're paying on their Social Security income. By just using a legal pad, by showing a client how taxes and inflation can devour 100% of their CD interest. Use proven approaches. Number 12, generational marketing. And I apologize for about 60% of the audience that heard this morning. If you really want to increase your life, health, or annuity clientele, reach out at the end of this meeting. And this meeting is over, Frank, about about 2 o'clock, 1:30? 1 o'clock. What I would like you to do at 1 o'clock, 1:01, what I would like you to do, they might have some phones and we have cells, reach out to someone you know who is 65 years of age. And what I would like you to do, that is a client of yours, and what I would like you to do is when talking to that client, explain that you just attended a very, very special meeting. And number 1, ask them this question. Would you like me to help your children? Boom, 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 boom. Like, would you like me to help your children think about your money just like I have helped you? Or would you like me to help your children insure their mortgage just like I have helped you? Or would you like me to help your children reduce credit card debt just like I have helped you? Now what we've done is we have just increased your clientele by about 28.5%. Here's another way. Give them a call, same thing, but go to an older age. I'm sorry, I'm driving you crazy, aren't I? I'm sorry, I just realized it. Would you like me to help your mom and dad achieve financial and emotional independence just like I have helped you? Once again, ask the right questions. The words that you use in your sales vocabulary are as important to you as a calm hand. No, where's the gentleman that helped me out? Steady hand is to a surgeon. Thank you. I will give him credit for that idea for at least one more day. The best way to schedule appointments, use an excuse. Use a webinar that you attended. Use a meeting like this. I just got out of a luncheon, and the reason that I'm calling. In other words, use your sincere excitement. You just read a book, or I just read a newsletter. Use that as the excuse to pick up the phone. Number 2, call standing up. I have never made an important phone call sitting down. Oh, I've made phone calls sitting down, but in my opinion, they weren't too important. But when I'm making an important phone call, stand up. Number 3, use a landline, whatever possible. Number 4, if you do not succeed, in other words, if you don't book that appointment, one of the biggest mistakes that we make, we get beat up, battered, and bruised. We get an objection over the phone that we cannot overcome, and we gracefully and tastefully and professionally hang up that phone and never call that prospect back ever again. Big, big mistake. Too many of us in this room make too many one-time phone calls. What we have to do beginning today is we have to learn how to have more second-time and third-time phone calls. So when you get an objection that you cannot overcome, Gary, I can appreciate how you feel. Would you mind if I called you back in about 30 days when things just might be a little bit better? Now what Gary's probably going to say is, yeah, but I'm not going to be interested then either. That's okay. Hang up the phone then. Write him a little note. I enjoyed speaking to you today, Gary. I look forward to talking to you in 30 days. 15 days later, find something that appeared in the newspaper, something that you heard, tear it out if you can, send it to Gary. By the way, Gary, I was thinking of you when I read this newspaper article about probate or about mortgage insurance or about disability income. I thought you might like it. I look forward to talking to you in 15 days. Now day 30 arrives. Why must you call Gary in 30 days? Very good. You told him you would. Our biggest asset is our word. I once took a 37-hour train ride from Los Angeles, thank you, to Wichita, Kansas, because I promised someone that I would be there. And the doctor said, Harris, you can't go with those 2 ears of yours. You got 2 big infections. I got on a train, 37 hours, I got there, I kept my word. Your word is your biggest asset. I must be on sales idea 41 by this time. Where am I now? Morals, ethics. If you don't know the answer, say, I don't know that answer. But rather than give you a partial answer, may I research it a little bit more and get back to you? Or, I don't know that answer, but I know someone who does. Can I get that answer for you and I'll call you back, Carol, tomorrow morning? Aging of America. In the year 2030, it is projected that there will be 320,000 people age 100 and older. In the year 2030, it's projected there'll be 70 million people age 65 and older, which is twice the current population of Canada. As I reported this morning, 50% of all people in America control 80% of all money in banks and $66 of every $100 in the stock market. They are getting up. They're looking in the mirror. They're beginning to realize that they may not have saved or invested enough. They're worried, they're concerned. They're concerned about Social Security and Medicare might changing. Inflation or taxes might increase. There has never been a time where they've needed an insurance and investment professional like they need you today. All you have to do is to pick up that phone just a few more times, a few more knocks on the door, a few more pre-approach letters, a few more client appreciation events. All right, Brian. Rather than the camera seeing an old man bend down.
Aging of America.
Okay, if I could just borrow that, please. Thank you so much. Doubling of money. If there is one idea that I give you today that you hold on to and use for the next week or 2 or 3 or 4, I ask it to be this idea. In 1980, it took 8.3 years for a jumbo certificate of deposit to double from $100,000 to $200,000 after taxes. How long was that? 1980? 8.3 years. In the 1990s, it took 13 years for a jumbo CD. In the year 2000, it took 19 years for a jumbo CD to double after taxes. Don't shout out the answer, but write it down. Do you know how long it will take for a certificate of deposit today to double from $100,000 to $200,000 after tax? Write your guess down. Now let me give you some hints. According to bankrate.com, the average CD rate is 0.65%, and I'm using a hypothetical 33% tax bracket. How long will it take? Your guess, sir?
30 years.
30 years. Your guess?
I know the answer.
You don't know the answer. Oh, thank you.
90 years.
90 years.
100.
100. And the answer is, Lynn? 173. Ooh, 171 years for a jumbo CD to accumulate from $100,000 to $200,000 after taxes. Friends, do you think there's a better way? 3 definitions of tax deferral. Number 1, Mrs. Phillips, unlike the money that you have at the bank, where you're paying income taxes on the interest, regardless, Peter, if you leave the interest in or take the interest out, with the annuity, you only pay income taxes when you want to, when you withdraw the interest. Definition number 2, tax deferral is tax control. Definition number 3, tax deferral is converting a tax into an asset. Think about that for a second. Converting a tax into an asset. Instead of paying 28% of your bank interest to Uncle Sam, what do? You hold on to it temporarily, becoming an asset for you, compounding additional interest. We have an unbelievable opportunity. 1035 exchanges, and I'm glad the camera is on. 80% of all annuity business is a result of 1035 tax-free exchanges, IRA rollovers, and IRA transfers, which means, Joe, that we're getting the money from our brothers and sisters in the insurance industry. In other words, we're not getting the money from the bank vaults of banks. This is a problem for a variety of reasons. Let's make believe that you have an older brother far, far, far away. And that older brother of yours bought an annuity 10 years ago. And since the last 10 years, he has bumped into 10 other insurance professionals. How many times do you think your older brother heard that he bought the wrong kind of annuity or the old school annuity? You want to take a guess? About 11 times out of 10? How do you think that older brother feels about his annuity shopping skills? Do you think he likes to be reminded that he made an unwise decision? Do you think he wants to meet another insurance professional as soon as possible? What I would like you to do beginning today, the next time that you hear someone say that they own an annuity, I would like you to shake their hand. Congratulations, Michael. You made a very, very wise decision 10 years ago. Because of that wise decision 10 years ago, you now have more money. Because of that wise decision that you made 10 years ago, you have paid less income taxes. If an emergency had ever arisen, you could have gone to your annuity, withdrawn 10% of your monies, and if you retired and you wanted a guaranteed check, you could have annuitized the contract and received monthly income for as long as you live. Michael, 10 years ago, you made a very wise decision. Today, it's time again to make another wise decision. Why don't we take a look at some of those dollars accumulating at the bank, and why don't we get some of those dollars accumulating on a tax-deferred basis? Makes sense, doesn't it? Flexible premium annuities. For those of you that sold flexible premium annuities in the 1980s, early 1990s, reach out to those people. Why? Because that paragraph in that flexible premium annuity allows them to make an additional contribution, another premium in other words, and receive a guaranteed interest rate of 3 or 5% for the life of the annuity. Who do you know that's getting 0.65% at the bank? Who do you know that would really appreciate a 3% lifetime interest rate guarantee? If you offered a flexible premium annuity, or you know someone who owns a flexible premium annuity purchased in the 80s and 90s, they might be that best person to call at 101 o'clock, at 101 today. Could everyone look to your right? Could everyone look to your left? Could everyone look in front of you? Homework assignment from me to you. Why should someone buy an annuity from you instead of those 3 professionals that you just looked at? Now, number 1, you can't say anything bad. And number 2, you can't mention the name of the insurance company, and the reason for that is 400,000 other professionals can sometimes represent that same company. What this is an exercise on self-promotion. What makes you so hot? Do you return every phone call within 16 hours? Do you always tell story diversification? Do you believe knowledge is power? What makes you so special? And this evening, if you have 1 or 2 things written down, shame on you. If you have 8 or 9 or 16 or 92 things like Adam will, we're going in the right direction. What I would like to do now is the remaining 20 minutes or less, I would like to share with you a major secret. How many of you have ever seen the Ed Sullivan Show? Okay, about 80% of you, which is a surprisingly high percentage. There was an act, and the act was a guy with a bunch of plates like these. And what he would do is he would get a plate spinning, and after he got the first plates a spinning, he then raced, you don't remember this, he raced to the other plate, got that spinning, and what did he do, Gary? He then rushed back to plate number 1 before it came tumbling to the ground. And he got to then he went to the third plate, and eventually he would have 16 plates spinning. Here's the secret. That guy was an insurance agent. He had to be, because isn't that what we do for a living? We spin plates. We got clients, we got former clients, we got current prospects, we have people we don't know yet, we have people who attended our seminar, we have people that we mailed to, we have people that we emailed to, we have people that we faxed to. That's what we do. So what I would like to do is I would like to end this meeting with these very expensive China, no, these are my plates from home, okay. What I would like to do is to share with you 5 plates that I would like you to begin spinning. And if you do spin these plates, you really will have more prospects over the next 60 days. And the first plate that I would like you to spin is the plate Life and Health Clients. Why do I want you to spin that? Well, matter of fact, let me tell the story in a different way. I was speaking at the Marriott in Los Angeles. Near the airport, and there was one gentleman in the very, very back of the room. It wasn't a booth; it was a ballroom. It was looked like a football field, about 100 yards back. And this one guy in the very, very back of the room had never sold an annuity ever before. And I gave this idea, you know, the one that I'm about to give you in a few minutes. And Larry smiled. During intermission, all he did is he came up, and all he wanted to talk about was this one special sales idea, the one that I'm about to give you in a few minutes. At the end of the meeting, he did something that I'm hoping that you will do. He helped me carry all of my bags back to my car. And there's not a chance in the world, is there? But you're being nice about it. And all the way to the car, all he wanted to talk about was what, Adam? That one special sales idea, the one I'm about to give you right now. Larry used this idea for 19 straight days. Every day he used it, it failed. But on the 20th day, it worked, and he made $24,000 in commissions in one day using this one idea. How many of you would like to learn this one idea? Wow. But before I give it to you, write down the following phrases, please. Annual review, policy delivery, service call. Once again, annual review, policy delivery, service call. When you're done with one of those 3, and darn it, gorgeous restaurants don't have them, but homes do. They're called doorknobs. When you have that hand on the doorknob, the first thing I would like you to think of is, of course, NAIFA. See, when you're a speaker, you never forget who's taking you to the dance. But after speaking of NAIFA, I would like you to say the following words. Why? Because they work. Oh, by the way, if I could show your mom how to reduce the taxes that she's paying on her Social Security income, would that be of any interest? Or, oh, by the way, if I could show you how to receive interest 3 different ways, interest on interest, interest on premium, interest on top of the dollars you normally send the government, would that be of any interest? Oh, by the way, if I could show you how to protect the people that you love most economically, would that be of any interest? Or the one that I asked Larry and that entire audience to use, and here it is. And if you use it today, you'll use it for the rest of your career. By the way, where is your IRA? Larry did use that for 19 days. It did not work. On the 20th day, so help me, the client said, or the prospect said, "It's funny that you asked. I just received a distribution from my pension plan of $600,000. Larry, what do you think I should do with that $600,000? Friends, when you multiply $600,000 times the commission of 4%, you make $24,000 in one day with 4 special words, and those 4 special words are what? Oh, by the way. Any ideas? Yes. Referrals. Just out of curiosity, how many would like to see me spin this plate? Referrals. Why do we need a referral system? Because our present one is not working. Does this sound familiar? Debbie, who do you know that might be interested in an annuity? And what have our clients been saying to us for 10, 20, 30 years? They can't think of anyone. Well, let me ask you a question. Who do you know that needs a new front porch? Who do you know that needs new business cards? Why are we asking this question? By asking the question, we're allowing them to control who our future clients are going to be. Because beginning today, what I would like you to do, I would like you to use the following strategy. So your first name?
Mark.
Mark. I'm Bill.
Bill.
Let's make believe that I am delivering a policy, life, health, annuity, doesn't matter, to Mark this evening. What I will do is I will drive downtown. Wait a minute, this is the year 2011, isn't it? I won't go downtown to the library. I'm going to Google the phrase reverse directory. Could everyone write down reverse directory? And Mark, you live on what street?
Langley.
Langley. So what I will do is I will Google the phrase reverse directory, and all of a sudden 100 reverse directories or more will pop up on my screen. I will pick the one that allows me to use it for prospecting purposes. And I will just jot down Las Vegas, and then I'll do Langley, and all of a sudden, all of Mark's neighbors will populate on the screen. One that I use, if I roll over the name, I get a map of the entire neighborhood. So I even see who has a big roof and a small pool and a large pool. And if that were not enough, if I move a little bit over, 50% of the time, I also get the phone numbers as well. Why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you is because now when I deliver a policy to Mark, I will congratulate him for making a wise decision. I will remind him of the benefits of owning that product by utilizing the policy. And then I will take out my legal pad and he will see the last names of all of his neighbors. And 50% of the time, he'll see their telephone numbers. He will not see the first names. And the reason for that is I'm going to say this to Mark. Mark, I was planning on calling these 10 neighbors of yours. Which ones do you know on a first name basis? Mark, do you know the Fitzpatrick family?
Yes.
Yes. Their first names?
Bill and Susie.
Bill and Susie. And their approximate ages?
They're about 40.
About 40. What do they do?
He works for a car dealership, and she's a stay-at-home mom.
Oh, okay, cool. You go to the next name, the next name, next name. And then on the bottom right-hand side of your legal pad, there are 2 letters. Write these letters down. O-K. By the way, when I call these neighbors of yours, you wouldn't mind if I mentioned that you were my client, would you?
No.
That's the OK. Notice what you're doing. Before I was allowing you to decide who my future clients are going to be. Now I decide who I want my future clients are going to be. When you're with a doctor, doctors know doctors. Dr. Smith, I was planning on calling these 10 cardiologists. Which ones do you know on a first name basis? Plate number 2, referrals. Plate number 3, the most overlooked generation. I don't want you to change what you're doing because you're doing things very, very well. It's during the non-productive time that I would like you to do something different. The time where you're not normally with your family and you're not attempting to make money. What I would like you to do during that time, I want you to reach out to a new generation. Well, first of all, raise your hand if you kind of specialize in the retirement market, or basically the senior community. Raise your hands high, please. So about 22% of you. So I really am just talking to the 22% of you. That's cool. What I would like you to do is I want you to reach out to those young studs and studettes, those young whippersnappers age 40 and older. Yeah. Why? They need you more than anyone else. Number one, no one is calling them. Number two, they need a professional like you to help them pay themselves first, to stay out of debt, to get mortgage insurance, to get disability income, to begin thinking about their money. That's the unselfish reason why I want you to reach out to those young whippersnappers. There's a second reason, sadly, a selfish reason. As I mentioned to the morning audience who were out of this world today, if my daughter, Elizabeth, ever called me and said, you know, Dad, Gregory and I just bumped into an advisor and he took great care of us. And you know something? This advisor would take that advisor would take great care of you and Mom. You know the chances of me visiting that advisor the next time I'm back in Colorado? About 200%. So what I'm reporting to you, the best way to reach out to that 65-year-old, that 75-year-old, that 80-year-old is through the adult son and daughter. And that's why I say they are the most overlooked generation. Plate number 4. Have you ever gotten up in the morning saying that you had no one to call? Have you ever said to your family, oh, Daddy or Mommy's got to make a lot of cold calls tomorrow? We've all been there. You have a gold mine of leads, your file cabinet. This morning, I gave the audience only one of the 3 ways. I want you to hire a high school student, college student, and I want them to go through that beat up, battered and bruised file cabinet. You know, the one that you have, sir, with 3 drawers, all those dents. Every application in there has their date of birth. And then if you bend really low, what do you have down there? Every illustration that you've created from the beginning of time. That's a gold mine. So the first thing that I would like you to do is for that high school student to group them based upon the year that they were born. The reason for that, and by the way, for those of you that attended this morning, raise your hand. Ask them. They will tell you how to take advantage of that. The second way is 90 days before an insurance age change. Every morning when you arrive at the office, you want a nice pile of applications of everyone that's within 90 days of an insurance age change. Why? Because life insurance and health insurance is on sale.
Long-term care.
Yeah, very, very good. Long-term care is on sale. Arguably, it will never be less expensive than it is now. The third group would be those flexible premium annuities that you sold many, many years ago. Your file cabinet can be a gold mine of leads. And lastly, birthday marketing. Now, this is going to be a major surprise to you, Rebecca. And that is, I've been in this business a real long time. Big shock, right? And of all the people that I've met in all the cities, guess how many people in the business world send me, of the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that I've met, how many do you think send me a birthday card every year? He said 0. He knows me. You're close to being right. 2. My State Farm agent, I saw the heads pop up. My State Farm agent that I've been with since 1983, and the guy who bought my first marketing organization in 1984. But every birthday, I think of those 2 guys just for a few seconds. I wonder if Neil and Bob are going to send me a card again. Question from me to you. Do your clients think of you on their birthday? And if they don't, it's amazingly simple. All you have to do is to go to the pharmacy, send them a birthday card. It doesn't take much. Now, we license ideas to insurance companies, broker-dealers, marketing organizations, so I have a very small clientele of about 30. Let me tell you what I did in 2009, and I'm going to be repeating it in 2012. I got all the books, all the dates of birth in my book, And what I did is I would call them in the morning. We begin our day between 4 and 5 every morning, and I would call. And of course, understandably, I would get the voice message, and I would just sing a few bars of happy birthday. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Hey, this is Bill Harris. Have a great day. I never spoke about business at all. It was just one reason, just me thinking of them. And always I would get an email a few hours later, or a phone call 2 days later, or the next time I saw them the following month. Hey, thanks for the phone call, Bill. One time I got a return phone call within like 30 minutes. His name was Heath W. And the first thing he said to me was, Bill, thank you for singing me happy birthday. You're the second one who sang it to me this morning. And then Heath wanted to talk about business. And as Dick will tell you, when someone wants to talk about business, I'm willing to talk. And I was yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping about what he wanted to talk about. But in the back of my mind, what was I thinking? Who was that other person who sang Heath happy birthday? And I was going to ask him, but I was waiting for that little breath in the conversation. I was going to ask him. I didn't have to. He said, oh, by the way, Bill, thanks again. My mom sang me happy birthday this morning too. And and I could just think of the first thing I said without thinking, not bad company to be in, if you know what I mean. It doesn't take much. How long did it take me to make that phone call? 15 seconds. It doesn't take much. I would like to end, and I don't know if you passed that material out or not.
Not yet.
Okay. I'd like to end this meeting 2 different ways. Very similar to the way that I ended the morning session, but I mean it with all my heart. I don't mind if Mrs. Harris works. I do mind if Mrs. Harris has to work. There's a big difference between those 2 things. I never want to ask my 2 sons, Will and Chris, for a loan. I never want my daughter, Elizabeth, to give me a bath. I need 2 things desperately, and I think all of your clients and former clients need the same 2 things that I need. I need financial and emotional independence. And every one of us in this room has an insurance license that allows us to give people financial and emotional independence. A very important question from me to you. Are you using the power behind that insurance license of yours enough times on a daily basis? And if you're not using the power of that license enough times, Joe, when should we begin? Now, right away, as soon as possible. Julie, was it worth the price of admission? God bless. Thank you so much. What is being handed out right now? Remember, ask for the order 100% of the time if you think something is in their best interest. What you're seeing here on the flyer are our 3 newest assets, by far the best products that we have ever created in our career. On the left-hand side is our book, 75 Secrets, An Insider's Guide to Bank CDs, Annuities, and Retirement Planning. 75 different point-of-sale presentations. If you want to have annuity success, if you want to return to needs-based presenting, you have to own that book. The one in the center is a CD audio library, 7 audio CDs. I'm a big fan that knowledge is power. As you're driving around town, please listen to these secrets, in other words, these annuity presentations. And as you're hearing something that really gets you going, write it down, and then create a collection of like 5 or 10 or 15 of your favorites. So then when you're driving to an appointment, you're listening to the words that you're about to say. As I said this morning, Ted Williams took batting practice every day. What are you doing as you're driving to an appointment? And the third thing on the right-hand side is our DVD-ROM. Our entire book is on that DVD-ROM. You can install it onto 3 computers, and at the point of sale be able to show the book with lightning speed access. And if that were not enough, we give you 30 extra videos, 15 of them me speaking and discussing 15 of the secrets, and the other 15 is our presidential library, where we have former presidents of the United States talking about the same things that you talk about day in and day out. If you order today, you save up to 40%. About 5.5 hours ago, I made a decision that whoever orders today will also get our book, 7 Big Secrets, an insider's guide to closing, using the phone, getting referrals, seminars, prospecting approaches, overcoming objections. For those of you in the room that received a copy this morning, could you raise it, could you lift the book up high so they could see it? Because we're out of books. Okay, so basically that's, thank you very, very much. Those are the books that we're talking about. 7 Big Secrets is to Bonnie's right and Pat's right as well. I thank you so much. And, oh, one last thing. This is where I'll get a second round of applause. A marketing organization has asked me to speak in Las Vegas on December 8th. If you are an independent agent and if you would like to be invited, give me your business card and just write down December 8th. I do not know the hotel. All I know, it's in Las Vegas, and we'll have a very, very special presentation for you. I am wowed by this association. This guy is a tuxedo, a definite keeper, and you were just really a helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Thank you so much.
There you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.